All right, friends, Happy New Year. It's Thor Diecow talking at you here, and it's the first edition of This Week on Blu-ray and DVD for 2015, and we start things off with a bang. Richard Linklater's crowning achievement, a masterpiece, if you will, and the frontrunner to win Best Picture at the Oscars, Boyhood. And get a load of this at Future Shop exclusively. You can get this beautiful Mondo Steelbook. If you're a collector of fine films and great packaging, you want to get this one out. Have a look at the 12-year odyssey that is Boyhood.
Dad, I mean, why is it all on us, though? You know, what about you? How was your week? You know, who do you hang out with? Do you have a girlfriend? What have you been up to?
I see your point. So we should just let it happen more naturally, right? That's what you're saying. Okay, that's what we'll do. Starting now.
So there you go. 12 years ago, Richard Linklater decided to cast this young boy named Eller Coltrane, along with his own daughter, Lorelei Linklater, Ethan Hawke, and Patricia Arquette. And he got together with them for a couple of weeks each year over the span of 12 years and followed the journey of this young boy growing up and all the trials and tribulations that come along with his family life, with him going to school, all the things that happen in the life of a young boy, good and bad, and all those little great moments. They put it together meticulously and painstakingly into this movie. The editing alone is superb in the film. It is 2 hours and 45 minutes, but it is one of the best of 2014. A completely original and authentic look at what it is to grow up, and really an ending that leaves you sort of asking questions about life itself, so it's not tied up in a nice little bow. Eller Coltrane, by no means they could have known that he was going to be a great actor, but he fit the mold and sort of grew into this role so well. So don't miss Boyhood. It's my call for Best Picture of the Year at the Oscars, and it is certainly one of the finest films of 2014, and obviously Richard Linklater's best movie to date, and I can't see where he goes from there. So we're starting things off with a great film in Boyhood. Next, we've got another excellent one to tell you about, and this stars the great Chadwick Boseman, who was awesome as Jackie Robinson in 42. This time he's tackling another real-life character in James Brown. It's Get On Up. Take a look. Man, I love Chadwick Boseman in 42, but this is just positively electric. He basically, just conjures up and conveys everything that James Brown brought to the entertainment scene as that powerful performer, that great singer who had so much influence over everyone. But this movie doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't try to sort of, gloss over the story of Brown, because he had some dicey moments. He had run-ins with the law, and he had a troubled upbringing in South Carolina. It gets into all of that stuff, and it also stars Octavia Spencer, Viola Davis, Dan Aykroyd, and Craig Robinson. And you basically sort of get a look at the world through his eyes as he started his amazing career and went six decades. And it's a very uncensored look at the often turbulent life that he faced. And the movie itself is very wacky. I mean, he talks to camera. It's got some sort of bizarre scenes that unfold. You don't know where it's going from one moment to the next. But Chadwick Boseman, he's great. He's going to be playing Black Panther in an upcoming Marvel movie. He is such a solid performer. He carries the movie so well on his shoulders. And it was full of great, vibrant performances and music. It's chock full of laughs, a lot of drama, romance, sex, music. It's got the total package there, so Get On Up. I was very impressed with this film and can't wait to see where Boseman goes as a performer. He's got such a wonderful career ahead of him. Next, Denzel Washington reteams with Antoine Fuqua, who he directed in Training Day. You might remember that he won an Oscar for that film. This time around, it's The Equalizer, and Denzel Washington plays a Secret Service hitman who's retired, but he gets pulled back into the game. Take a look.
You didn't stay long.
I didn't check my watch.
I see. Wow. Thanks for your cooperation.
Very welcome.
I'll be in touch.
Don't you want to leave me your card, officer? In case I remember anything? That's what you policemen usually do, right?
Must have given them all out.
How'd you find me? I paid cash. We didn't have a reservation. How'd you find me?
Well, that's what we do, Mr. McCall.
We who?
Find people we need to find.
We who?
The very creepy Martin Showcash as the villain there. So basically what happens is Denzel has befriended this young girl named Chloe Moretz. He often goes to the diner because he can't sleep at night, and he becomes friends with her. He soon realizes that she has become a victim. She's under control of this Russian mob, and he starts, putting together his combative and his expert skills to help rescue her from their powerful grasp. Sort of gets pulled into the game again, as it were, because he's sort of trying to make a normal life for himself, working at a Home Depot Depot type store. I really like the quiet moments like you saw in the clip where they're exchanging dialogue because Denzel brings so much credibility and wisdom to those scenes. What I didn't care for so much was the actual action. They did this thing where they tried to sort of break down the anatomy of the scene where you could see him working out all the different moves he was going to do and formulating where he was going to go and who he was going to hit in his mind. I found that very gimmicky. It wasn't needed. And the end, it felt a bit like Home Alone. It's set at the Home Depot type store, the hardware store. So he's using a lot of the tools and the products as booby traps. Not giving too much away there, but I did like a lot about this movie, but I felt ultimately it was a bit disappointing. There are 6 behind-the-scenes featurettes that give you insight into making the film, and the Blu-ray bonus feature includes Vengeance Mode. When you're watching it with that feature on, you take a look at the major action sequences as Denzel and Fuqua break down the deadliest moves in the film. If you like Denzel Washington, this one is a sure bet. I did have a couple of problems with the story and the over-stylization, but that's okay. Okay, we got a great new flick to tell you about now, starring Dan Stevens, who you may recall from Downton Abbey, and he's playing a very different role here in The Guest. Now, basically, he arrives at the doorstep of the Peterson family. He's a young soldier claiming to be the good friend of their beloved son who died in action. So they welcome him into their home because he's such a nice, charismatic guy. They don't think anything's sort of up with him, nothing suspicious about him. Then people start mysteriously dying in town, and mayhem ensues, and their teenage daughter starts wondering if this David guy is responsible. This is from the visionary team that gave you You're Next. And I got to tell you, Dan Stevens is going to be a household name in the years to come because he is intense in this movie. He is ferocious. He's also very funny. This is almost a satirical look at those sort of action movies of the 80s, but it's got a great contemporary punch to it. Some riveting action scenes, especially this one here in the bar. And Dan Stevens has so much charisma. This movie is a lot of fun to watch. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. It's got a lot of funny moments in it, some great action, and ultimately very satisfying little thriller with just enough comedy peppered in there throughout. All right, we're talking TV for the final 2 segments here on This Week on Blu-ray and DVD. And HBO's hit Girls is back because I can tell you that, yes, the 3rd season is out now on Blu-ray and DVD, the full season, along with bonus features including gag reels, deleted scenes, music features, and much, much more. In this season, Hannah's in a committed relationship with Adam. They're settling into their newfound domesticity in her apartment, and Hannah's also working on rehabilitating her writing career and focusing on delivering her ebook to her eccentric publisher. If you've enjoyed the Girls show and followed their exploits, you are going to definitely pick this one up and own it on Blu-ray or DVD, and you can see all the other characters in their element to see what they've been up to and what's in store for season 3. Things just keep getting better, or sometimes worse, for those girls. And finally, Archer is back for a stunning 5th time. Yes, the hit animated show, the spy spoof as it were, Archer Vice back. Sex, drugs, espionage, and animation for the 5th season. So basically, him and his covert operatives have more irreverent adventures across the globe. With an overabundance of cocaine at their disposal, they decide to team up and form a cartel to sell the drug. And this leads to more hilarious outtakes as they deal with addiction. Cheryl tries to be a country singer, an FBI bust, an open marriage, a lot of Kenny Loggins, and a South American dictator are just some of the wacky and wonderful things that you'll see in Archer Season 5. Love that show. Great vocal talents all around. That's it, guys. It's a mixed bag, a loaded one, as it were. I'm Thor Diecow. You can check me out on Twitter, @ThorDiecow. We'll see you next week on BreakfastTelevision.ca.